We're in 634. It's a nice looking hallway. And one reason we're staying at the Edgewater Inn is because of the story of the 7-year-old girl that was either thrown or jumped off the balcony. So once the girl, and she, now we're staying on the other side. Our room's on the other side facing the mountain, but this is the view from the motel. You can see the river. You can see a balcony right there. Hey guys, Tina and I just checked in to the Edgewater Inn in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And look how beautiful these mountains are in Gatlinburg. And this is just a picture in the bathroom. I can show you now the view from our balcony. This is the room. There's Tina. We're getting ready to walk down, but here's you can see it's got 2 queen beds. So like I said, it does have 2 queen beds, but we usually get a king size bed. And so we usually get a king size bed, something like that. But when I booked this room, it was the last room they had left, and so you get what you can get. But the rates is $143 plus taxes, probably about $154 or something like that. So for 2 nights, that's a little bit more than I usually like to pay when I come here. But the rates this summer have been outrageous, I guess, everywhere across the country. And I fear that now that people have paid those rates, they'll never come back down. So everything's inflation.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see.
We're going to have a good time anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a great time. And the room is not bad. It's a little dated, but it's a good room.
It looks comfy.
Yep. So,
comfy and clean.
Mm-hmm. Now let me show you the view from the balcony. Okay, so we have a real fancy balcony. It is nighttime. So a good view of the mountain. It's almost as good as the picture. And then nice, well-lit parking lot. So, from the balcony and the parking lot, you gotta honk this horn. Make sure it's locked. So one of the reasons I want to stay here because the Edgewater Inn is supposed to be haunted, and basically the story goes that the parents were staying like on the 6th floor, and we're on the 6th floor, and the father, of course, was on the other side facing the creek, and the story goes that the little girl was thrown off the balcony onto the other side towards the creek, and then when they came to investigate, the police came to investigate, they thought the father was acting kind of fishy. He was saying, oh, she fell or jumped or whatever. She's 7 years old. And so they left, but then the police left, and then they got in their car and they flew away because they knew something. I guess they were it was suspicious or whatever. And then the parents wrecked on a curvy road, and they both died. So, what a crazy
story.
It was. And you know, they say that the little girl, they see her standing in the creek, pointing up to the balcony. People have seen that. So usually, like on the anniversary of the week around when it happened, something like that. And that was back, I think, in the 70s, 72 maybe, but I'm not positive what the date was. Not sure the month, but it's about 1972. So anyway, crazy story. Hope we don't see anything crazy here. But thought I'd share it with you. We are here at we're on the historic nature trail, and it's a beautiful drive up that way, but the reason we're here is to tell the story of the two girls that were murdered. The story happened in July of 1980. The two girls had just come up to Gatlinburg right before their senior year, and but during their night, you know, they probably hit some bars because probably nobody was checking IDs back in those days. And then they've met a drifter, and they brought this drifter guy back to their motel room. I guess just hanging out, whatever. But then the next morning, the 2 girls were found dead. One was found, I guess she was trying to run away from him in the stairwell. He strangled her. The other girl was found in the room, strangled, laying beside of her bed. Now, these are 2 very young girls, so not trying to put a damper on Gatlinburg, because it's really one of our favorite places.
Right, and that kind of thing does happen and has happened in the past, but this is just, you know, one of those stories.
Yep. Ghostly stories. This is more ghastly than ghostly. There's never been any tales of seeing ghosts or anything here. And so just a horrible, horrible event. And we're going to walk down here and tell you another horrible event that happened right here in Gatlinburg in just a minute. So you can see the Space Needle behind me, and I just showed you this little clip of that orb of the guy. Well, I don't know what it is. It's a ghost, it's an orb, but it's going up and down off the Space Needle. And really sad story about a guy that jumped to his death in 2016. He had gotten into some trouble. He's from Alabama. Some kind of, you know, real estate scheme or financial scheme or something. He probably was having financial problems and got caught up in that, trying to catch up, and who knows. But you see the pictures of the guy. He seemed like a really nice guy. So you hate when people go through something like that and end up feeling their only alternative is to jump off of something like the Space Needle. And looking at that orb, that whatever that was in the clip I just showed you, that was crazy, scary. There have been reports that people do see ghosts up there. So his spirit still could be around, but maybe one day he'll make it to the light and get out of here. But that's another ghostly story. And when we say this, tell you these stories, keep in mind we love Gatlinburg. It just adds to the lore and the history of the place. There's a lot of violent history here, but also happy history. It's really cool. So we love Gatlinburg. So I'm looking right here at the Sunliner Diner, which is across the street behind me. And Sunliner Diner is an awesome place, great atmosphere. The wait staff is excellent. The food is excellent. So we've gone there a couple times. We've always enjoyed it. But a few years back, there was a horrible incident that happened. One of the waitresses here had just started working. She was like 16, maybe 17, and she just started working at the diner. And one of the male staff kept making advances towards her, as the story goes, and she kind of basically, you know, nice girl, but just telling him no, she's not interested. She's just wanting to have this job and not worry about anything because it's her first job. Well, the male, he kept making more advances anyway, and I'm not going to give you the names because I think there's still litigation on this case. I don't know if the trial has been held for the alleged perpetrator of this incident. But anyway, as the young girl was leaving the restaurant at the end of her shift, and her mother was out waiting on her to pick her up, the perpetrator came out from behind the building and stabbed the young girl to death. The mother was there to see this. It was a horrible story. And she was trying to talk to her mom, and as she's passing away, and of course, obviously the mother's very distraught. But anyway, that's a horrible event. I guess that could happen anywhere, but we're just telling the stories that happen in the Gatlinburg, and this is Pigeon Forge area. Like I said, we love the area. Things like this happen anywhere, but it's just sad. You don't think about this when you're on vacation. And so anyway, that shouldn't stop you from eating at the Sunliner Diner, because it is a very cool spot and a fun time, and we sure have enjoyed every time we've gone there. But also, I would remember the girl's family, because I'm sure they're still grieving, and they'll never get over that incident. So anyway, thanks for watching.